you never know what you're going to get throughout your day as a service plumber. You can get people like that. You can get crazy people. Like I got told on like Wednesday from a customer to like get the F off my property once, and I told him a price for like a bare minimum price just for digging.
Could have just
for
said
like
no.
like a minimum hour of digging. And I was just like, and I was nice. Like I feel like I'm nice and personable when I come talk to people, and he was just like, get the F off my property. And I was like, okay, have a good day.
Well, there's that misconception in the trades too that people are just trying to screw everyone over. Mm-hmm. Whether it doesn't matter who you are or who you work with.
Welcome back to Dyno Service Bros with the Dyno Service Pros. David, as usual, and we got Brad. And then we got special guest, Viliami Salami. Okay, Viliami. We got Billy Ruiz.
I mean, Viliami Salami. I mean, Salami was a nickname back in like elementary school.
No way.
Yeah, because I would say Viliami, so it'd be like salami, pastrami. There's a couple other ones.
Your mommy.
Remember. I mean, no, we weren't like to that crazy yet. We're like your mom jokes were pretty big, but like it was like Viliami or salami.
I love it.
It just always worked. I don't know. Sounds.
I've never heard this before.
Sounds good.
I never thought of it either.
Yeah, I just respond to
lame.
anything, honestly.
Villy Willy, Villy Dilly, Villy Nilly.
Free Willy was one of
Free
them.
Willy, yeah.
That's fucked up.
It is. It's bad. It's bad, but I mean, I still responded.
I wasn't thinking that is messed up, bro.
That's messed up. I hate it here.
I'm a great swimmer, though, so.
I can't. I may be Mexican, but I can't swim.
Yeah, you walked across. We know.
Yeah.
You walked across. You did not swim across.
No, I drown.
Everybody be speaking to him in Spanish, and he'd be like, huh?
Yeah. Tacos? All right, Billy. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself or the people, our 20 people that watch us. But
it's like 21.
Yeah.
22 now.
Yeah. Let them know.
Yeah. So I'm Viliami Ruiz. I am a father of two beautiful girls. I am a husband. I am a friend. And I am a plumber.
The man, the myth, the
Damn,
legend.
that was such a cool opening.
That was.
Dang.
That was so nice.
So what's your favorite role then?
Probably father.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's different every single day. I mean, you never know what you're going to get. There's days where I go and get my daughter, my oldest, from her bedroom. And there's days where I open up the door and she's like, Daddy. Like she's excited to see me. And then there's other days where I open the door and it's like, Mom. It's like, no, Dad's here. Mom.
Yeah.
Great. Great. It's like, why did I even come get you?
Yeah, well, I didn't even come home today.
Yeah. And then I'll be like, hey, do you want me to get you out of your bed? Mom. Well, all right. Sounds good. You're staying in your bed.
Girl dad, they say the reasons guys get girls is because they need to learn a lesson.
I need to learn a lot of lessons.
Yeah.
a lot.
I mean, I got girls too, so I can attest to that.
Yeah. How are your kids, man?
They're good. They're growing. 3 months. 3 months yesterday for Finn.
That's awesome.
Wyatt's just crazy version of me. It's like battling myself every day.
Yeah.
I feel it, dude. My daughter has an attitude.
You see that? Just like all the if you're looking into everyone's eyes, it was just like a tiredness.
Yeah.
Both the new dads or the new daddies, again, their just eyes are beat.
Can you call me that again?
Shut the
You can call me daddy anytime, man.
That's right. Hey, as long as it makes you guys feel good, I'm here for it. You know what I mean? It's 2024.
I love it. So plumber, you're a plumber.
Yeah, I'm a plumber.
Take us through that journey.
So I've been...
Who's your daddy and what does he do?
I don't actually have a great relationship.
Hey, I know. Hey, hold on. Throw it back.
We're talking about plumbing, right? Not my daddy issues, right?
This is not an episode of Cry On. We're going to be okay today.
No, so I started in construction since I was 12. Like, I remember working for large construction back in Southern California. Shout out Be Large.
It's because he's Mexican.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Child labor.
Yep.
Yeah, so I would go on like weekends, on breaks that we had at school during summer. And, you know, you're 12, you're taking out the trash, you're cleaning up the job site, sweeping. Yeah, maybe they'll let you touch a hammer, maybe. So I started out doing that and then continued working with him during the summers. And then after high school, I went on a mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I went to Denver, Colorado for 2 years.
Man, you got a bad draw. Everyone else gets to go out of the country.
Well, fun fact. So initially I got called to Chiclayo, Peru, and then I went to the Peruvian MTC in Lima, Peru, and then I was there for 6 weeks, and it was the first time I was out of the country by myself, and everything, and it kind of just got to me, kind of homesick, trying to learn a language that was initially my first language that I abandoned when I was little, and then going there, I knew a couple kids just from the area in California that were there with me and everything, and just couldn't really stomach being on my own, trying to figure it out in a second or third world country. So it was hard. But the experiences there, like, I love it. Love the experiences there. But then they gave me the opportunity. They said, hey, you have the opportunity to go home. I mean, you can. The church really, like, wants you to try to come out here because it's your duty to God to serve him. He's given you so much. The least you can do is just give him 2 years of your life, right? So they said you can go home or we can transfer you to a mission in the United States. And I said, let's do that. And so I got called to Denver and I loved it. It was so fun. Just loved the people there, had so many experiences, met so many wonderful people. The food there was great. And everything. And then I came home after 2 years and then I continued working for that same company. So I worked for the same company, and then that's kind of where, you know, you're 21 at that point. You're trying to figure out what you want to do. So I learned a lot of electrical skills to an extent in everything. And then my boss, Brandon, we called him Be Large. He said, he pulled us all aside and said, what do you guys want to focus on? I want to kind of help you guys focus in individual areas, but overall, we're going to continue doing the same thing. We're going to do the same thing, but I want you guys to focus in certain parts so that if I need something done, we can send you to a job on your own to go do this. If it's like running can lights or running switches, or if it's putting in a drain for a toilet or running extra water lines somewhere. So I kind of did that and everything. And then I told him, hey, I want to kind of focus in electrical like you. And he said, no, you don't. And I was
Don't do it.
I was like, whoa, like what? Why? And then so he told me in a recession, and this is his opinion and everything. And he's like, in a recession, you can go without electricity. If times are hard, you can't pay your electrical bill. He's like, you have candles, you have natural sunlight, you have other ways to make it without electricity. He's like, if I were to do it all over again, I'd go into plumbing, because his younger brother Spencer went into plumbing. And he's like, if your house is flooding or overflowing, you're gonna find a way to make it so you can pay your bill, or you can pay that plumber to fix your issue, right? He's like, plumbing is pretty much recession proof.
Dang, it's a bomb drop right here.
I know,
That's pretty awesome.
Don't be an electrician.
Well, everybody wants to be an electrician.
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing wrong with being an electrician. Like, I still use some of my electrical skills to this day. Like, I'll help neighbors, like, switch out plugs and switches, replace can lights, run extra wire to other things. And, like, I don't like to do it.
Doppel, are you listening?
Yeah. Doppel. I don't like to do it, but, like, if I have to, I will. Like,
But you have the skill set. You learned it, so you're able to, but it's not what you want to do for a career.
Yeah, and so, and I, like, keep some of that back because I don't want to I don't want my wife to know because then it's like, oh, now I got to do other stuff.
Bigger honey to-do list.
Yeah.
I've been wanting these lights for a while. You're like, I don't know, do that.
Well, and she told me too. She's like, when this episode comes out, she's like, you like let me know. And I was like, great. I just outed myself now. Can we delete that part?
We're gonna start talking bad, and we're gonna start bringing out the real Billy.
Yeah. And so, but yeah, and then ever since then, I applied to work for a commercial plumbing company up here after I got married, and then we moved up here. Did that for a little bit. Wasn't really kind of what I thought it was, because I was so used to like residential home remodels, stuff like that. And then I found a plumbing company here. They gave me an opportunity, and then I've been with them ever since.
Nice.
Dang, that's your only company? Other than the commercial one?
Yeah, the
Crazy.
only one.
Do you feel like being in the LDS church and going on a mission helps you with your sales, or helped you with your sales?
Yeah, I mean, I think ultimately, I think if you...
The way I see it, right, with sales, it's like you're selling your belief, whatever that may be. So if it's religion or if it's a job, like you go and you sell somebody doesn't have a softener, right?
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna sell them on why they need it, you know. So you're gonna educate them. So the same thing, like where I think being a part of the church and whatever it is, doesn't matter what church, you know. But like for the LDS church, you guys go out, you guys knock doors and stuff like that. So you learn to break that like barrier on how to like, hey, here's our belief. We're going to sell you on our belief, you know, educate you on it. So you can say, but it makes it where that's easier for you guys. I feel like it should be, right? Where those conversations aren't awkward because you're like, well, you called me today for a service. It's easier for me to talk to you about a service. So that awkwardness, like you should have got through it in those 2 years. Cause I can only imagine I sold Kirby's with my father-in-law for 2 weeks, and then I was like, this sucks, because you knock doors and people are like, what do you want? So it's, I can imagine doing that for 2 years. It makes, you know, the trades and service quite a bit easier.
Yeah, like, I mean, I think that serving a mission for my church definitely helped me. I mean, in the Bible, it talks about the receiving the gift of tongues, right? A lot of people, they can translate it to the gift of tongues, learning a second language, or being able to speak and have a better understanding of yourself and speaking and being more confident, right? So for me, growing up, I was outgoing, I was fun. I like to cause trouble.
Still does. We
have a group.
Now when you're young today.
Still today.
We have a group back home called the Bad News Bears. It's in our group chat that we have. It's 2 of our church leaders, and then it's like the 5 or 6 of us. And we're still known to this day back in Southern California, in Aliso Viejo area, being referred to as the Bad News Bears.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and so I always tell people, I ran into one of our friends' moms when she came out to visit, and I was like, do you remember me? She's like, oh yeah, you're part of the Bad News Bears. And I was like, okay, like, we've grown up though, like, we're not all like that. She's like, no, I know, but when we look at you, we still think a little bit of those times. Like, they're not all bad, but there's some that are fun.
I can't see Billy as like little bad boy.
But like, I wasn't super great at public speaking. Like, I never get asked to speak in church. I'd always pretend I was sick or not show up and everything, and they would scramble. They'd be like, oh dang, like, Billy's on the program today. Well, better tell the speakers to go an extra 5 minutes each and have the bishop go on, or one of the counselors go on and talk for a little bit. And so after my mission, I came back and I felt like I was given that gift of tongues, being able to be good at speaking and talk to people, and everything. And I took a speech class in community college, and just because I wanted to see like how good I really was at public speaking after that. And my teacher said, no one is ever going to get 100% on any assignment or any test or anything in my class, because I don't believe in being perfect. She's like, the only person or only thing that's perfect is God and his son. I was like, that makes sense. And so I did my final on why Coke is better than Pepsi for my persuasive essay. And she gave me a 98.9. And I was like, all right, like what were the things I messed up on? I kept within the parameters of what you told us to. And she's like, nothing. It was great. She's like, there was nothing. And I was like, okay, why didn't I get 100%? And she's like, you know why. And I was like, oh, okay.
You're like, I'm perfect.
Yeah.
Give me my 100%.
Yeah. So, but I mean, it definitely helps you talk to customers, talk to people, right? They feel comfortable. They feel like they can trust you. They feel like they're talking to a friend or a family member.
Yeah.
So I use that experience to help me through my daily life, whether it's personal, whether it's work. That's what I do to help me. I mean, we do all the time as missionaries, we would do role plays where you would go to someone's house, where you would pretend to knock on someone's door and present yourself as a missionary about your message.
So you guys would train on this?
100%.
Crazy. It's like a sales room.
Yeah. So it's a sales room, but you're paying the equivalent of $10,000 for the year or for the 2 years to be out there.
Oh, you got paid?
So yeah, so the church, it's equivalent to around 10,000. That was back in 2013 to 2015. So
it's like 30 grand now. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, and seeing who knows, maybe with inflation. Inflation's crazy, right? But like they would tell you though, like leading up to serve a mission, like try to save money aside towards a mission. Your family helps. If your family's not able to, like mine, the congregation or the bishop or the guy that's in charge will pull aside certain families and see if they can help contribute. It equated to about like $400 a month or whatever, like for contributing and everything. And so there was a lot of families that helped my family because we financially struggled to pay to get me to go on a mission and everything. And so, yeah, so like that was kind of the whole thing of going on a mission and everything. But it helped. They taught you like those core values, being self-sufficient, being able to figure out, like being an adult, like, okay, you got a budget for groceries because you only get out of that money. You get about at the time, it was like only $120, $130 a month on this debit card that got money transferred to you. And then you have to try to figure out how to budget that and everything. So I would do like rice. I wish they would teach
beans and tortilla.
Yeah, literally rice, chicken. Yeah. I'd go to the grocery store and I'd budget. I'd look for like the discounted chicken, like chicken thighs or chicken breasts before, like they're about to expire. The grocery store has to get rid of them. So like I would do that. I would do like rice sides and stuff like that. So I remember eating chicken and rice, probably like 4 days a week. And then we'd go out on one day, we would go out and like have food and like get Taco Bell or get L&L barbecue, stuff like that.
When Taco Bell, there was a $1 menu. Now there's no $1 menu.
Yeah, you had that coin.
Oh, dude, I was the best at that. You ever play that?
No, but you told me. Dude, you told me about it.
Yeah,
that's the way to get free food.
Yep, all the homies. I'm like, give me your guys' quarters. We're all getting burritos. You just drop them down it. That was the best game. They're bringing it back. I think. I don't know.
They should.
I heard that they're bringing it back, but I haven't seen it yet.
Not in Utah.
So why is Coke better than Pepsi?
Okay, so. Fun fact that you bring that up too.
Just curious, because my dad did a whole speech on why Pepsi's better than Coke, and then he wrote a letter to the CEO, and they sent him like a case of Coke or like Coke or Pepsi for a month.
Oh, that's cool. Well, I know
you missed it. You missed on that opportunity there.
I know, I did. Fun fact though too, Pepsi is now down in sales. For their like
you
quarterly.
You would know this.
Yeah, he knows it so good.
It just came on. It just popped up online a couple days ago. They're actually down in sales. They overprojected, and their sales and stuff were pretty bad compared to what they projected. No, but like Coke was around. Coke's been around for a long time, right?
And they used to put cocaine in it.
Yeah, so they used to do a lot. I would say cool stuff and interesting things, but they. So at the time when I did my project, they're saying that. With the amount of Coca-Cola ever produced or produced in a year, you can run Niagara Falls consecutively without it running out of Coca-Cola for like 14 years.
Dang.
With how much has been produced.
That's insane. That's a lot of soda.
There's been a lot of mind-blowing facts on this show so far.
Yeah, the things you don't know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know that about soda.
Yeah, but I mean...
Billy's invested in their stock.
Like,
yeah.
I love soda. I love soda, but I mean, I'm trying to cut back, trying to get healthy and everything. So like for caffeine, I try to cut down on caffeine. Like I love my energy drinks, but you know, it's going to kill you one day.
Well, that's a lot of sugar too. It's a lot of sugar.
So even the zeros, I mean, they still at some point I feel like have some sugar in it,
Yeah.
but I try to cut down on that. I try to cut down on sodas, drinking more water and everything, just eating less portions and everything. So at the end of the day, I want to be there for my kids. Like I want to be there so I don't have to worry about getting down on my hands and knees and playing with them and everything. Right now I have a daughter that's 9 or 10 weeks old. And we always have her on the ground. And I want to be able to get on the ground and not have to worry about
not getting up.
Yeah, not getting up or being in pain.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So
plumbing's already going to do that too.
I was just gonna say,
yeah,
that's crazy because with your job, you would think that would be a huge focus, but
plumbing will
kids
do it
change
to
everything.
yeah, well, like I hate wearing knee pads for work. Like it feels way worse than just being on like a regular pad.
So you just like raw dogging it.
Yeah, so I'll raw dog it on my knees and everything. Like, even in the rain too, it's like, do I want to just put a pad down? Like I'm gonna get wet anyways. You might as well just lay in the water. There was a clip that I had that I posted on one of my social medias. I was in the rain and I was trying to turn on a 2-inch water main for a community, and it's raining. And
That's the one I walked in on you?
No, probably a different one.
Oh.
But it was like I was on the floor and it was raining and I was kicking my feet back and forth. It's on my stomach.
Oh, there's a video.
Oh,
of it.
yeah, I seen it.
And
I seen it.
And I'm just singing the California Girls by Katy Perry.
It would be Billy.
And everything and just going. 'Cause, I mean, it sucks. It's raining hard. It's muddy.
We'll
you
have
just
to
gotta
give
have
Mallory
fun.
that video so they could drop it in.
You could travel the world, but nothing comes close to the golden clothes. Would you party with us?
Yeah, it's so fun. Like there's days where your job sucks. Like you guys know, there's days where it sucks. You don't want to be in that certain situation
Every day.
If you're laying on someone's floor trying to fix something covered in fecal matter.
That was David yesterday.
Yeah, he was telling me that when I was hanging out outside.
That was a crazy story.
There's days where it's like that and it sucks, but you just got to do it. Like at the end of the day, it's not for you, it's for the customer.
Oh my God, really quick. This is the same Villy with the poop story.
I
Just
know.
so everyone's aware, like we
That's
didn't announce it, but this is that same Villy.
We were going to get there at some point.
I had an encounter with him again a couple weeks ago.
So we've talked about Billy in the past quite a bit actually. There's always a Billy story. Billy, he's over here acting, like he don't
All
got crazy
buttoned
story,
up,
all
yeah.
buttoned up, good boy. But he got some story. Tell him how you made $200. Tell the people.
Okay, so I'm not going to name the customer because I don't want to name him. I doubt he'll ever watch this.
No, guys.
But so
old.
I won't name him. Yeah, he's in an assisted living home where I ran into him again. So
He really liked you.
Yeah. So our company, the company I work for, we went to this customer's house. We went to this customer's house. We installed a couple bidet toilet seats at his house, and for some reason he couldn't figure out how to work it. He never really used it in the upstairs bathroom. You push the remote. He's like, I can never get this thing to work. Never get it to work. And I was like, all right, I tried using the remote. So I used to use my phone as the remote. So trying to use the remote, couldn't get it to work. I was like, okay, maybe if I put some pressure on it. I put a little bit of pressure on it, and then like the remote lights up. And I was like, oh, okay, it's pressure. You have to sit on there. Pressure is the only way it works. And he's like, okay, I want to sit on it and use it to see if it works and everything. And his CNA was there at the time. And
Philly was the CNA.
no, there was a CNA. I can confirm. And she looks at me, or looks at him and looks at me, and then she's like, well, I'm not doing it. And I'm sitting there thinking, you're the CNA.
Yeah.
Like,
It sounds like a bad corn movie.
Yeah. And so I was like, this is your job. And so she's like, I'm not doing it. And then he looks at me and he's like, can you help me out? Can you just walk me through it and use this? I know it's uncomfortable, but I will compensate you for doing this for me. And I said, okay, like, sure, no problem. So I go in, I'm sitting in his standing in his bathroom.
Did he tell you how much up front?
No.
It could have been like $5.
Yeah, it could have been like
$5.
Could have been 20.
Billy was up for it.
Dude, I mean, it's always fun. Like, you guys know, it's nice when customers give you a tip for working and everything. Like, even though they could be paying thousands of dollars to your company, but they still give you a little bit to like say, hey, we appreciate you.
Go get a burger.
Thank you. Yeah, go get a burger. But now during July, June, July, August is usually when you see it the most as plumbers because it's hot out. They're like, here, I know it's not much. This could probably get you a couple of drinks at the gas station, a couple of Gatorades or something at the grocery store, but like, here, thank you and everything. And I always appreciate that because then it shows me that, like, you know, the customer truly cares about what we're doing and everything, and they're grateful. So I didn't know how much I was going to get paid. And so he's like, all right, go. So I walk it. So I get back in the bathroom. I'm like standing there across on the part of the bathroom. There's like a photo of Michael Jordan with like the iconic him free throw line dunk. And so everything, I'm standing like in front of the
door open or door closed?
Door open. So I'm standing in front of the vanity, just like face like over there, just waiting for him. He's like, all right, show me how this works. So I'm like going through and kind of showing, like trying to show him. And he's like, well, I want to use the toilet. And I was like, okay, like you're just going to sit on it? And he's like, yeah, I'm just going to sit on it. Then he starts, because he's like in a chair, so I help him up, get him to sit in the toilet. Damn. He starts undressing from the waist down. He sits on the toilet,
balls out and all, just out there.
So he sits on the toilet, and then I said, all right, so I'm gonna push this button. So I'm facing forward. I was like, please, Michael Jordan, get me through this. Because I'm staring at the photo.
Hold on. The best part is Billy you say you're controlling it?
I'm controlling it.
He held the remote. He's like, do you like that?
No, so
does that one feel good?
So I'm like, I was like, okay, I'm gonna push the button to get the water going. He's like, wait. He's like, I haven't gone yet. I was like, oh, okay. He starts aggressively grunting. He's grunting, and then all you hear is fart sounds. And he is pooping like no other. And I was like, oh my goodness. And me like,
did you not laugh?
No, I kept a straight face because I didn't want to seem unprofessional. So the fan was not on too, so it was rank. It smelled so bad in there. So I am focused, looking at this and looking at Michael Jordan, just focused with the remote. He's like, all right, now I'm ready. And I was like, all right, so I'm gonna push this button. Which button? This one right here. Son, I'm hard of seeing. So he was like,
almost hard too.
I need you to show me. And so I
you got to turn around at this
I go like this. I go, okay. And so I rotate the phone. And I'm making perfect contact with the phone or with the remote. Like, do you know how like when you zone in, laser focus on something, everything else kind of blurs out, right? So I'm focused on the remote, and I'm going this one right here. And then he grabs my hand. He's like, "Which one?" I said, "This one right here." He pushes it, and he's like, "Whoa, that's pretty aggressive." And I was like, "Well, you have it on you have it on high." He's like, "Let's try low." He's like, he pushes low. He's like, son, I barely feel anything on that. And so he's like, let's try medium. So he tries medium, and he's like,
we were talking about a bidet.
I know.
Yes, we were talking about a bidet.
He's getting his ass washed.
For those of you just joining in.
Please rewind a little bit.
And then so he's pushing the other buttons. So there's like a seat warmer. There's
playing with all the buttons.
There's like two different functions. There's like a sprinkler setting or whatever on it. So like, push the sprinkler and it's like,
goodness.
Like you're at a car wash, right? So there's that setting. And this is like a high-tech one you can get at like Home Depot for like $400.
Man.
And it's just a toilet seat. And then he's like, okay, what else is there? Let's try the heated seat option. And then there's a fan option. So he pushes the fan and he's like, oh, this feels nice. He's like, I see why women want bidets installed in their house, and I was like, I couldn't tell you. I'm sorry, like I couldn't tell you if they do or not. Like, just trying to be professional still.
Oh, dude, I give it to you. I probably would have lost it.
Yeah,
It's like a car salesman. How's the air?
Yeah.
Let's try the radio.
Yeah.
Well, and the worst part is, so like,
thrust or one
so I was like,
thrust?
okay, good, I'm done. Like, I stop in everything, and he's like, well, let's check to see if it actually did good or not. He grabs a couple pieces of toilet paper, and he wipes himself. It's still like wet. He still has some fecal matter or poop on his toilet paper, and he looks at it. He looks at it, and he's like, what do you think?
Oh, hell no.
Is that good enough? I was like, I mean, you could probably use a couple more wipes. It didn't fully clean. He's like, good enough for me. And then he just flushes the toilet, stands up, and was like, you got some doo-doo stains on your chonies, dude. And then he's like, I thank you so much.
Did
And
you guys
everything.
hug after?
No, I did not want to look at him in the eye.
How much did he give you after that?
So he gave me $200 at the end.
Would you have done it for $200, Brad?
No shot. Maybe. This is a good story.
Yeah.
I'll do it for a good story.
Man, you guys are nuts. I'd be like, yeah.
And so I left. First person I call, I didn't even punch in my notes after the job closed out yet. First person I call is David.
Oh, yeah. You're right away.
Yeah, and I said, you are never going to believe this.
And I believed
told
it.
him.
'Cause it was Billy. It was Billy. I was like, it'd be you.
Well, and he was dying on the phone. It was. I mean, every person I've told this story to has been dying because it's so funny. But like, that's the thing, is you never know what you're gonna get throughout your day as a service plumber. You can get people like that. You can get crazy people. Like I got told on like Wednesday from a customer to like get the F off my property once, and I told him a price for like a bare minimum price just for digging.
Could have just
for
said
like
no.
like a minimum hour of digging. And I was just like, and I was nice. Like I feel like I'm nice and personable when I come talk to people, and he was just like, get the F off my property. And I was like, okay, have a good day.
Well, there's that misconception in the trades too that people are just trying to screw everyone over.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it doesn't matter who you are or who you work with.
Yeah, everyone. Like, yeah, that's just how they see us. You deal with some crazy customers. We've talked about that before. Like me and Dan were working on this lady's house. He was, but he ended up calling me, needing some help or whatever. And then I went over there and I parked my truck and trailer in front of the neighbor's house, right? Just because it was like there was trash cans out everywhere, so I had to park in front of her house. We're running, trying to get this lady's water back on, clear her aerator. She had a water main break. Mud went through the house and whatever because it was leaking for some time. Well,
just like a couple of days ago.
Yeah, 2 days ago. So Dan like goes out to my truck to grab something, and the neighbor walks out and is like, we had nothing to do with her, and she was just being like passive aggressive under her voice, like, oh, like I don't know why he had to park right in front of the house for, why he couldn't park over there. And then Dan's van was in front of the mailbox of like it was a community mailbox, and she's like, well, did the mailman even show up today? Because I mean, you've been parked here all day. Like I don't know if the mail even came. I might as well check though. And it's like, we were trying to help this lady get her house back together, you know, but it's just like, that's the type of people you deal with that are just, for whatever reason, they feel entitled. And I'm like, I didn't,
Streets of St.
and
George.
me, I'm like, we own a business. Keep it together. I'm like, because like all of me, I was like, she said what? You know, I'm like, I'll hold my next meeting in your front yard. I don't give a, you know, I was so mad. I was just
hold
like,
my hat. Hold my hat.
Hold my hoops. You know, dude, I was so mad. I was like, why? Like you own the street? Like, oh, dude, I was so angry. I'm like, all right, we're parking all the vehicles here come Monday.
Can I ask how old she was?
Like, I had to be like 60.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was going to say, it's got to be like that older generation.
Oh, yeah.
Where they're just mad about everything.
But yeah, oh, for sure. But nice big home, you know, and I was just like, what? Like, why are you upset about me parking there, you know?
Yeah, dude, the housewives of St. George got nothing better to do with their lives.
I'm surprised there's not a show about it.
There should be.
I know there's the Real Housewives of Salt Lake, but
I
like,
bet you do.
It'd be
There's-
so much. It's good though.
Yeah.
You watch it?
no.
Come on. I watch
Dude,
it.
I don't have cable. Like, I do like streaming, so you get like the ESPN and the Hulu, like for the $20 or whatever.
Yeah, it's on Hulu.
Yeah. Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, dude, I don't. Like, I watch baseball on my phone, and then like other sports maybe if I have the chance. Like we try not to watch TV with our kids, like try to limit screen time and stuff, and everything. But like if baseball's on, like my wife's somewhat lenient with it.
It's like forget them kids when baseball comes on. Hey,
Well,
we
yeah.
dads, sorry,
Yeah.
but
Well, and like my daughter, our oldest daughter, we've taken her to some baseball games when we go down to California to go watch the Angels play.
ooh,
Yeah,
Hey,
boo.
You can't hate,
Dodgers.
a
The
team
Los
that's
Angeles
always
Angels.
sucked. You can't hate a team that always
That's
sucked.
true.
There's nothing to hate. I mean, besides
They just wanna be
besides
LA.
the owner needs to sell the team. But I mean, we take our daughter to games when we can, when we go and visit family and friends down there. But like, so my wife's lenient a little bit when it comes to that. Like we were watching the home run derby the other day. We're watching the All-Star game.
who won the home run derby?
What team did he play for?
Yeah, what team did he play for?
The Dodgers.
Ah, yes, sir.
It's our
Thank you.
first one.
Yeah, yeah, ever. Like,
Hey, but how fun was that game though? That home run derby. Like
I
it
didn't
was.
watch it.
I didn't watch it.
We were working.
Yeah, some of us work, Billy.
Yeah.
Oh,
We don't have a rotation of on-call people.
We are the on-call
Yeah.
people.
This is all you're looking at.
Shout out to Dan for working hard.
Yep, he's in 2 weeks in Minnesota right now, living his best life, smoking a cigar. Yep, he just took off for 2 weeks, so he's, you know him, he goes out there.
Yeah. So
Every
you guys,
2 weeks.
You guys closing down then? Because
Yeah, that's it, dude. I'm done. Wrap it all up.
Wrap it all up for 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's it. We'll call it quits.
If you're hearing this, Dan, we're coming.
Yeah.
Better get us
That'd be
some
the only reason.
sleeping bags. Get ready for us.
And I was supposed to go with him this go around. That dude, we were supposed to go work on his cabin, and so I was looking forward to it because he's out in Minnesota, and like his cabin is like on a lake. It's so sweet, but next year maybe.
Are there Mexicans allowed in
No,
Minnesota?
no, probably not. It's close to Canadian border, so where he's at.
Yeah. I mean, usually it's just white males with their with their New Balance shoes on, mowing the lawn.
We're gonna get canceled. This episode canceled. Hey, just for reference, I'm half white, so I get
No,
a pass.
you're not.
I get a hall pass. You know, I'm a quarter. You want
I
me,
guess
you want me to pull down my pants? Yeah, I'll show you my whiteness.
Just because
For
you
$200?
just because you married a white girl doesn't mean you are white. I mean, you're winning at life because you married a white girl.
Dang.
That's what me, dude.
Wow.
I married a white girl.
Yeah.
Like I automatically win.
How else are we supposed to get our citizenship?
I know, dude. There's a reason I abandoned Spanish at a young age because I knew I was never going to be able to make it in this world.
I always tell people because I speak zero Spanish. My parents didn't learn, so I don't speak it. But I always tell people, they're like, "Oh, you speak Spanish?" I said, "Yeah, I'm very fluent." They're like, "Why don't you speak it?" I said, "I don't want to get sent back across the border." Like, so I just,
Stupid.
I'm in America now, and
Yeah.
some people believe it. I'm like, I speak zero.
I understand.
Tacos and burritos.
I understand a little bit more than I cut
Asada.
off. Dude, carne asada is good right now. No, but I tell people I know little, but I can understand now. I mean, because I attempted to try to kind of relearn it all a little bit when I was on my mission. There was a time where I understood maybe 40 to 50% of it after my mission, and then it's like gone down to like 20 or 30%, but I can catch on to a couple of things.
I'm zero. I know when they're cussing at me, and I know food. That's it. That's all I want to know. I'm good. Spanish is hard to learn. I tried Duolingo. It ain't easy.
It's not, dude.
Mainly when I married a white girl that don't speak Spanish.
Google Translate. Anytime we have a customer, like Spanish-speaking customer calls, I'll text them in Spanish.
Yeah, sometimes I'll call my cousin who speaks Spanish. I'm like, hey, can you translate what they're saying for me?
Dude, there's times where like during the summer, because my wife's an educator, where I'll call her like, hey, I'm at a customer's house. They don't speak English, or their English is very broken, but they speak Spanish because my wife's fluent in Spanish.
No way.
Is she
your
from
white wife is fluent in
Yeah,
Spanish?
so she served the mission too for the church, and she went to California, Ventura, Spanish speaking. So that was the mission, and so she did that, and then kept up on it, and then passed like the test for the school district that tells you like what fluent, like if you're fluent or not, and everything. So she passed that and everything, and she's kept up on it. So she has conversations with people in Spanish, and she would communicate with like my grandparents in Spanish and everything.
Did she ever talk about the oranges there?
Yeah, she talked about like
They're
the
so
oranges.
good.
She talked about like the avocados.
Yeah,
how
they're
they would
so
walk by
good.
people's houses, and they would tell them to pick on their way out. Like, no, we're not interested in your message about God, but please take some avocados. And she said they'd have like their bags just filled with
It's the
avocados
best.
and oranges.
You know that 126 highway is just like all orange trees
Oh, yeah.
and all
Oh,
avocado.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, some good.
They got the orange guy that like stops at the end of this
Yeah.
gas station down here, and he always has the best oranges. He's an asshole, but he has good oranges. I
Yeah,
don't know
well,
why.
even at like the farmers markets here on like Saturdays and Sundays, they have oranges, they have avocados, they have grapefruit.
Do they have the frutas people there?
frutas,
fruit?
what is it?
frutas, fruta.
Fruta.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You see that video where he's like telling the person at the drive-thru what he wants. What do you want? Carne asada. And he's like,
No, say it right."
Say it right. And he's like, I can't. He's like, come on, just one more time.
He's like,
Try
I
to roll
can't-
your R.
Yeah, he's like, I can't roll my R.
Yeah. So he's like, carne asada. And he like records him and he plays it back for him. That's me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good out there though. So what's up, Billy? How you liking it?
I love it, man. I love it. There's days where it just sucks, but you just got to do it.
Would you do it over again if you could? Would you be a plumber again?
100%. I would. I love my job. Like it's a career. Like honestly, I love what I do. There's days where, you guys know, where you come across people that are struggling financially, or there's that old lady that has an issue and she can't fully pay the amount and everything, and you just want to do the work for her and everything, or give her a massive discount so they can afford to pay for that job. There's times where you're not allowed to because the company you work for that doesn't do that.
Got corporate greed.
Yeah. There's times where we do stuff for free. Like we'll throw a replacement in something for the customer, and everything, or I'll just do some small thing for them and not even charge them and not even put it in the notes. Because you want to show customers, because we always preach we're family oriented. We care about our customers. We treat them like family, and you want to show them that, whether the company is garbage or whether it's a great company. For me as a human, I always feel like if I you get what you give, or you get what you give, right? Or you give what you get.
Yeah.
Like that kind
Karma.
of thing. Yeah, karma. Like you help out people and it's gonna
Come full
come
circle.
back. Yeah.
You don't want to have to repent for your ways.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be a good person. It's like we say, customers over profit. That's what we preach at Dino. It's customers over profit. Obviously we're a business, but at the end of the day, it's like if you see a single mom struggling and she needs hot water, like we're gonna help her. And we don't market it all over the world, but you know what I mean? Like there's just time and places. There's time and places for it. As a service professional in the field, you want to be the guy that is able to make that decision to help them out. And even if you're the one biting the bullet, you're like, I'll pay for the part. You know what I mean? Like I'll replace it. Cause I did that, when I worked for them. Like there'd be times where I would just be like, I'd help someone out and then I'd just go buy the replacement parts at the parts store and replenish the van. You know, it's just like, it turned into nothing. I didn't sell nothing. Nothing? Yeah, no, nothing. And then I did a hose bib or something, but it's just like, it's a $20 part or whatever
Yeah.
it may be. You know what I mean? So those are things you could do as a good tradesman, a good person, help out the people that honestly need it. Sometimes it bites you in the butt, though.
100%.
Like sometimes you're like, I'm going to do right for this person. For whatever reason, the ones you do good for, it goes sour so fast. But at the end of the day, you sleep good at night knowing you did right, So internally, you're happy.
Yeah.
So are you saying your favorite part of being a plumber is the people side?
I think, just interacting with the people every day. The money definitely helps. But just the people side, like there's you get to interact with some coworkers, some people, some helpers that are working for your company that don't, some don't know anything, some know some know a lot and everything. I enjoy the whole process. Like running in a van, having helpers with you, having helpers learn. I'm more of a, like, if you tell me how to do it, I'm not going to freaking do it. If you show me how to do it, I'll do it because I'm going to remember it. Even if you're there with me, having me do it and walking me through it as I'm doing it, I'm going to remember that tenfold compared to you just telling me, hey, drawing it on a board, do this to do this to do this. I'll make sure to tie this in.
Yeah,
It makes
hands-on.
sense because plumbers are hands-on people.
Mm-hmm. Well, and a lot of helpers appreciate it too if you just let them do it and show them how to do it by tell them how to do it and everything. There's been helpers where I've helped train where they just are ones being told you tell them how to do it and they don't do it. And then there's other technicians and plumbers that they ride with and they're just tool fetchers or the
Gophers, yeah.
and everything.
Gopher
And then they don't like to ride with those guys because they're just a gopher. And then there's the ones that enjoy riding with me and a couple of my other coworkers because we actually let them do the work. And they learn so much more and progress more compared to the other ones that have been the gopher for 3 months. They're leaps and bounds ahead of those guys because they're hands-on doing the work.
Yeah, that's the best. That's the best way for most people to learn. And it's like I said, we always got preached to, like, we're just gonna throw you in the fire. We're just gonna throw you in the fire. And it's like, well, if you're taught that way, where it's like you have your journeyman sitting over you, where it's like, okay, install this water heater, and you as the teacher could show them right from wrong. Like, no, like you missed. Like I like doing that with guys. It's like if they're with me, it's like, all right, figure it out. Tell me what's wrong. It's like I'm here, but try to diagnose it, troubleshoot this job. And they could walk through the process and like, if they don't know, it's like, well, you missed this step. Let's try this and find that. So they learn. So if they're ever out in the field on their own, they're already one step ahead.
Well, and even if it takes a little longer, the job takes a little longer, you're creating that trust with your helper and you're teaching them to look to not overlook or complicate things. Like you're having them look from 0 to 100, the full scope of it.
Yep.
Because they could miss something and be like, well, you missed this. This is why.
Yeah.
But you could be the jerk and say, okay, figure it out. And then they try to solve it and they don't get it right. Then they didn't get it right. And then you're just hounding them.
Yeah, you stupid.
Yeah.
It's a coaching experience.
Yeah, you could be that way, or you can be, it's like, well, hey, like, let's go back a step because you missed something.
Yep.
And then this, like, let's look at it again and everything. And so you have, I guess there's different coaching styles.
Yeah.
And everything. But you have the ones of back in my day, we'd walk to and from school uphill both ways.
And
like
20 feet of snow.
Yeah.
Cardboard shoes.
Yeah, and so you would like have those. It's like, oh, no one was there to help me. And it's like, well, that's unfortunate. No one was there to help you, but you're here to help people now. Like you should be using your skills and experience to help prep the next generation instead of watching them fail.
Let them suffer.
Yep.
Let them burn. That's why they say throw them in the fire. Let them burn. I don't like that. I want it.
No, because the trades are dying. So if we push people away, then it's just going to keep dying.
Well, and you if you set them up for failure and they keep striking out, they keep failing, you start to lose faith in yourself. You know what I mean? And you start to lose that faith of like, can I do this job? And no one's there to help you out. Like, I think Dan talked about it. That was his breaking point, where it's like he felt like he wasn't backed at the end. And it's like, if you don't show up for your team, like they're not going to want to be there anymore. And then it's like Nick Giesland too. Same thing. Like
good old Nick.
Yeah, he disappeared too just because like he loved plumbing in the beginning and then he didn't get what he felt like he needed out of it and lost the passion for it. But when he came and helped us for a while, he's like, oh man, this is what I miss of plumbing. Like it just being lighthearted, like we got a job to do, let's get it done and go home, Yeah. And he started enjoying it. He's like, this is why I love plumbing. He's like, until managers, because like we always say, you got bosses and you got leaders, people that hound you, right? And then you got the leaders that will show up and dig that hole with you and just teach you a lesson through the process. So be the leader.
Yeah. Well, and you also got coworkers too. One thing I really appreciate, like, we don't have it as much now, but we sometimes still have it with your certain guys and your certain buddies that you work with where they're still going to come out and help you regardless. They're done with their day. They're reaching out to you. hey, you finished up at work today, or are you still on a job? No, I'm still on a job. I'm digging this hole. All right, well, what part of town are you at? Oh, I'm in Santa Clara. All right, shoot me your address. I'll be there in 10, 15 minutes. Like, also stop at the gas station. Who's with you? Like, what helper's with you? Like, what do you want to drink?
And it's out of them. The company's not paying for it.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like,
no, it's out of your pocket. Like, I remember I do that all the time with one of the guys that I work with still, because we have each other's back. We
Yeah.
went to plumbing school together. We always have each other's back. There's days where he's called me at 10 or 11 o'clock at night when I'm not on call and he's on call, and he's asking me questions. I'm still going to answer the phone because I know if I'm ever in that situation, he's gonna do the same thing.
Yeah,
It's a brotherhood.
I was just about to say we're building a brotherhood. So, you want it. You want your guys to show up for you. It's like we had that conversation. Dan, would show up like in the middle of the night. I'm out there digging a hole. He'd just be like, I'm coming. Like, I know where you're at. I'm showing up. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's times where I've called you guys, where
Yep.
I've called you and everything, and you were just finishing. You were in class.
yeah,
And I would call you and like, hey, I'd call you and be like, hey, do you have this on your van? Be like, yeah, let me check. I'd be like, all right, like, let me come get it from you. And be like, no, like, if you can chill for a couple minutes, like, I'll bring it to you. And then all I see is two lights of two vans pull up, and it's you and Dan, and you guys are getting out helping me
It's a plumbing angel.
for like, plumbing angel, for like, and you guys were just sitting in class for 2.5 hours
Yep.
after you worked a full day and everything. But like, those are guys are going to have your back 100%, whether it's work or whether it's personal life
yeah.
and everything. And you're always going to remember that, and you're always going to be appreciative towards those guys.
It really, I've always said, like, you see your coworker, it don't matter what you be work in an office or whatever, like, you see your coworkers more than you see your family. Like, I was like, you got to be more of a family than anybody, because these are who you see on a daily basis. So mainly in the trades, like I said, it is a brotherhood. Like, I mean, we go to your daughter's birthday, like, we all go out for dinner, like, we know each other's families. Like, you start to build a brotherhood. Me and Brad, I mean, we started a whole business together, and we were coworkers at one point and took off and started a whole business together. And I've always said that's more consuming than a marriage is, like,
Hell yeah.
I mean, you got both families' lives at hand, or their life in your hand. Like, if we sink this ship, we both go down, so
Who's the wife in that relationship?
Oh, me for
him,
sure.
he
Yeah.
bitches the most.
Yeah.
You're needy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes
He's clingy.
you just got.
I don't know. Yesterday, I had a meeting in California, and David was crying to me last night on the way. How come you didn't invite me?
He was driving a Ferrari. I was like, all of a sudden, we're
How
not
come
business
you didn't
partners
invite-
anymore. Every time you're in a Ferrari, we're no longer business partners. That's crazy.
I hate to break it to you, but
And he got his nice, fancy ass watch on, and
I don't know. Who's the real wife now?
yeah, I hate to break it to you, but
I don't know. I know how my wife feels.
it's hard for a big man to sit in that Ferrari. Just kidding.
Man, screw that guy. I'm like, every time he goes out, he does something fun. I'm like, oh, that the time you leave me back.
He's like, I'm going to go to Vegas and get a Ferrari and take a picture and send it to you.
Yeah, just to prove a point.
Yeah.
Sometimes though, like even though you guys are pretty much like brothers anyways. You guys do everything together. You hang out all the time. Your kids hang out all the time, and everything. Sometimes you just need your space, man.
No,
Like, my wife's out of town.
hell no, we're clingy.
Yeah. Like, my wife's out of town right now. Like it's nice, but like I can do whatever I want, hang out with the dog, everything, sit there, watch sports all day, which is what I kind of did yesterday. And then like I worked out in the garage, and then it was like 10:30, and I just started doing like random projects in the house at night because I was bored.
Because you're bored? Yeah.
Because like there's no one to talk to. Like I can call my wife, but she's spending time with her mom.
Yeah.
Like she's spending time with her brothers and nieces and nephew. So like I don't want to do that.
You
in
forget
everything.
You forget how, like, the first day they leave, you're like, yeah, because I do it. My family leaves, I'm like, got the house to myself.
Yeah.
I'm chilling. The second day, you're like, all right,
Now
it's
what?
quiet.
Yeah.
It's like, what do I do?
Yeah.
And it's like, you're not single, so it's not like you go party.
Go out, yeah.
You're married.
Yeah.
You got a whole family. It's just like, well, okay, I guess I'm going to go play a round of golf by myself today.
Yeah,
Like,
well, and I don't drink too, so it's like, yeah, let's go to the bar. It's like, no, it's like, yeah, let's drive to Fizz and get a dirty Dr. Pepper.
Dang.
like living
Getting
on the edge,
wild.
dog. Like,
They got loaded Dr. Peppers.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not about that life, man.
No, Billy is so straight and narrow now in life.
I mean, it's hard to be straight and narrow though when you walk, you kind of waddle.
Yeah, soda.
Yeah.
Sinner.
No, but
I thought that was a gay joke coming.
Me too. You never know.
Yeah.
You never know with Billy.
Yeah, but like when your family leaves for a couple of days, it's like you miss them. Like
Yeah.
I miss going and getting my daughter in the morning and everything, whether she wants to be there or not.
You
like,
miss
I
the
miss
chaos.
it. Yeah, you miss the controlled chaos of it. and
Mine ain't
everything.
controlled. Mine's far from controlled. They run my house.
Oh, we know.
Yeah.
We know.
I just show up and it's like, you ever see that guy too that I think he's Indian or whatever? He's just beating his head with a pan. You ever see that video? Yeah,
David.
that's me.
He's like screaming and he's
Yeah.
beating his head with the pan. Yeah.
That's my life. That's my wife too. She shows up. She sends me that video at least once a week. This is me today, just so you know. I'm working late. Won't be home today.
Yeah. You come home, the locks are
David's
changed.
finding projects around the shop.
Yeah. Oh, my garage door fell off track. I got to fix it. Well, Billy, what's one piece of advice you have for the world? What, doesn't matter what it is, plumbing, life, whatever. Boating, fishing.
Yeah. Wow, that's a good question. That really is a good question.
We started doing that since
Yeah.
we started having guests on. I was
throwing
like,
people
that's a
off,
good one.
too.
Because we don't let no one know.
Yeah.
We don't tell anyone this is coming. It's just like, what's one piece
Well,
of
you
advice?
go from like going like having fun, chit chatting, and then it's like,
Deepness.
yeah, like let's get deep.
Mm-hmm.
Let's dive in and everything. Because I mean, like, there's, I don't know, probably try to do your best every day, regardless of who's watching. I feel like if you do that, because I mean, there's people that do stuff just for the clout, right?
Yeah.
They go and do stuff, but I feel like do your best every day, regardless of if people are watching or not. I feel like that if you strive to do that, like whether people are going to notice or not, I just feel like just being a good person and trying your hardest, like don't sell yourself short. You know what you have and what you're capable of and everything. Like for me, like I didn't really want to work out last night. It was like 10 o'clock. My garage is hot. It's 100 degrees in my garage. But I just did it because I know I had to.
Yeah.
And everything. And he was like, oh, let's just go. I had like one of those Bowflex M3 like machines. It's almost like a elliptical, but on crack.
Yeah. On Coke.
And it's propelled by,
On Coke, not Pepsi.
but it's propelled by you pedaling because it has a fan and you can adjust the resistance. And so they're like a 12 to 15 minute workout equates to like on resistance 3 or 4 equates to like a full blown 30-minute workout. And so I was like, let's get 12. And I'm getting there and just like, oh dang, 2 minutes left. Like I'm exhausted. It's like, let's push it. Like, let's go to 15. What's the worst that can happen? You're like, oh, I'm almost there. I'm already past 12. Let's just call it. It's like, no, you told yourself you were going to do this. Let's do it.
Dive in.
Yeah. And then I pushed myself to 15 and then I went 2 more minutes and everything and stuff like that. And like, it sucked. Yeah. But after like, you feel good knowing you did your best and you went further.
Well, that's what helps you the most is that pushing. You know, you got to push a little bit more.
Yeah.
I'd say showing up when you don't want to shows your character
Yeah.
more than anything. I mean, as dads, we all have to do that every day.
Yeah. That's true.
No, you're the wrap up, bro.
No, you do it.
Oh, we doing? Oh, okay, that part.
Yeah.
So you can find us at Dino Service.
This was just Brad
Choked it.
Brad drived all day yesterday. He went to Vegas, which was supposed to be, went down to California and then drove
All the way
back.
to Newport.
What time did you get home last night? Like
4:30.
in the morning?
Yeah.
Damn. So he's running on nothing.
Fumes.
Coke,
Ready to go.
not
Yeah.
Pepsi.
So we'll
Not
let it.
Pepsi.
So we'll let it slide.
We'll let him botch.
Since you were late, we'll let that slide.
All right, so you can find us on socials at Dino Service Pros. You can find our podcast on Spotify, YouTube, and the podcast app on Apple. And you can also find us on our website, www.dinoservicepros.com, or give us a call, 435-236-4568.
All right. Thanks, Billy, for being here today.
Thank you.
And love you. Bye.